Hey. So, I'm thinking that the biggest problem that I'm seeing for the most part is that most people are really having trouble understanding everyone as you pushed out. Like they're just, they can't wrap their mind around it. They're like, what do you mean? Their body is my body, their body. Like, I can't, right? Like, that's what happens. You start trying to explain it. Okay. So let me try and help you guys out a little bit. I'll give you examples of how it's been proven to me. Like, I cannot deny it. It is my physical reality now. I brain's been rewired. This is what is. Okay? So I want to give you an example. Many of you know that when I am walking my dog or when I'm doing some kind of exercise, something out there, I will be walking my dog and suddenly I'll meditate. So one of the things that I did was while I was meditating, I was asking God of like, what if I made this book? Like, do you think this book would really help people? Because you gave me this vision and I want to help people understand how 3D is made. And like, I really think that this deep level understanding that God you've given me is valuable. And so I asked that question in my mind while I'm walking my dog. And so instantly the answer came in the form of a vision of a woman that was asking me to sign her book. And she had this conversation with me and she said, Cindy, this book is the most incredible thing I've ever read. Like my whole life makes sense all of a sudden. And I'm super excited to apply these things and that kind of thing. And it was such a beautiful vision that I was like, I walked home in peace after that. Like, yeah, I better get started on that book, huh? Right? Like that's what I did. Okay. So I got home, I fed my dog, I relaxed, and right then I got this message from one of my classmates in the Neville School of Imagination. And she said, Cindy, I watched your project, your school graduation project, and it's incredible. And it's totally helped me, and I'm going to start applying this in my life. And literally, word for word, everything I heard in my vision was repeated instantly in the form of a complete stranger. And so the reason I'm telling you this story is because in that moment, not like I didn't know already, but like it's one of those like really whoa confirmation moments. I remembered, wow, my thoughts are on display and they literally are these people pretending to be my thoughts on display. And my vision came to life in an instant the minute that woman shared that with me. And it was incredible. Like really incredible because it's like you get these confirmations all the time, right? I've gotten to the point where sometimes, like in a group setting, I just read people's minds and it's like I know what's going to happen next. So I just navigate because I know what's happening. Why? Because it hasn't occurred yet in 3D. 3D is the past and the present moment it's going on right here. And I know that. I exist there. I'm not stuck in the past, right? But here's the thing. I offer coaching to people and I hope people see. And a lot of the times, what I've really, really connected with right now is that what's missing is that no one understands fully yet that everyone is you pushed out. And so they use the 3D to look backwards instead of using it as an assessment like you're supposed to with detachment. Look and observe, be the void that is all things, and watch the movie of your life and then decide what you want to experience, which is what we do anyway, but you're not doing it consciously, right? And here's where I'm trying to get at. Once you can understand this, okay, when you reach my level of understanding, and this is everybody, it's not like it just belongs to me, it's everybody, but when you reach this point in your awareness, you can literally put on anybody you like in your mind's eye, tell yourself whatever you want them to say, step back out of your body and wait for it to appear. Like literally just, okay, they're going to do this any minute now. That's what I do. Because I know. That's the difference. I know the word of God has been proven in my life. in my life and all the people around me that are studying the same thing are arriving at this conclusion if they haven't already. But there's never a moment where I'm surprised by what's occurring outside. Everyone that comes to me, everyone that comes to me, I don't call them, they come to me. When they come to me, what they usually tell me their problem is something I've already lived. I've already been through it, already lived. It's my mother's history, it's my grandmother's history, whatever. I can just see in time that these are my stories on display and they need adjusting, and this person needs help getting out of a situation that I already know how to get out of because I'm the source of the reality, and therefore I get to provide guidance to people because I've been there, done that. Been there, done that. And this type of knowing only occurs when you realize you are the source and you truly get that you are the source of your experience. Like, truly. I don't mean you second guess it. And by second guess, I mean you don't look at 3D and then it appears to disappoint you and then you drop down to that frequency. No, you are the void that gets to decide when you want to pop in and out of the movie. You have this power, you do it anyway. But the point of this, the serious, like I'm trying to convey more so than anything, is when you understand that you literally are everything and that every person that appears to you is actually offering you guidance as to what's going on inside of you that you don't even realize has been playing in the background forever, that's when you break the puzzle of you. And that's just it. That's what we came here to do. We came here to understand and to remember that we are the source of our reality. We descend into our subconscious, into our thoughts, and the only way we can exist separate from our thoughts is by pretending we are not this or that. Therefore, we appear separate. And every person outside of you is on display as your thoughts and living memories. And that's it. That's it. That's all it is. And once you truly get this, you no longer require anything because you are complete. Like you're whole. And when you're whole, and when you understand this, like really truly get it, nothing is an obstacle. Nothing. Because within you, you have everything already. Now, I often recommend the book called Dying to Be Me by Anita Moorjani, but not because I want you to understand what heaven's like in that concept. That's all great and that's fantastic. That's not why I'm sending people there that are studying this right now. I send people there to read that book so that they can understand the vortex that Abraham Hicks describes. The vortex that you contain inside of you is contained within your subconscious. You have everything there that you will ever need. Your job is to know that and then use the vibratory match to pull something out. That is how we're instructed in the Bible. And the reason that I recommend that book is because in that book, when she described the other side, she used some of the best analogies to describe the vortex you contain within yourself. And that she also describes the fact that every possibility already exists, all the timelines exist, everything, every last detail. And see, for me, I've already arrived to that conclusion, but by the time I read that book, I was like, oh, wow, that is a really good example for someone to see and use and really try to understand what's inside their vortex and really understand that nothing on their 3D plane is solid or fixed, that it's malleable. And to also understand that every person that comes to you and every person that you can see is not anyone else but your thoughts on display, and it is not our job to judge those thoughts, but rather to accept them. And if they need help transmuting something that you are the source of, then you have the experience to do it, and you can speak from that level of experience. That's important. That's very, very important. But until you reach this level of understanding, manifesting can be difficult. It's going to be difficult only because you have not yet understood that there is nothing you are not. Therefore, You need not worry. You are the source. You can come up with a scenario and God will play all the parts for you. If you want to get in the movie and enjoy being part of the movie. Okay? Or you can decide not to descend into that experience, observe it, correct it in yourself, and keep going. But life, your real life, like what you've been down here, like most people are searching for the meaning of their life and why did they come here? What are they doing? All that is the most obvious thing if you use the 3D universal reflection to guide you, because it is the shadow that you are projecting into the world from the light that you are. And once you reach this understanding, the world is your oyster. It is yours. People appear out of nowhere and start offering you help. But you got to befriend your universal reflection. You can't sit there and judge it. You can't look at the world and say, well, how awful it is, because, okay, then it's going to be awful just for you. Other people get to enjoy a great life. You get to choose. You get to decide. You are the operant power. This is the beauty of this. You are the one that gets to define every moment to moment to moment. So as an example, I often use this is 20 people can get on a roller coaster. It's the same roller coaster, but 20 different people had a different type of experience. They did, right? Like, let's just say, for example, that person, some of those people have never been on a roller coaster. They had an experience. That say someone who loves roller coasters had a different experience. Someone who's never liked them had a totally different experience. It's the same roller coaster. They define the moment. And that is the power that you all have. This is what we're supposed to wake up to. This is what we're supposed to realize. But the only way that we do this is when we realize that there is nothing we are not. And it's a basic principle. God cannot be separated from itself. It's impossible. That's why the most genius thing that ever occurred was that God said, okay, the only way for you to experience your universe, like as if you were separate, is for you to pretend not to be everything. And as long as you pretend not to be everything, you get to experience the world from a certain degree. The difference between myself and others is that I understood that, therefore I am no longer I'm in the world, but no longer of it. It's a very different way. It's as if I popped out of my movie theater, I popped out of the screen, and now I'm observing the movie of Cindy, and whenever I want to descend into an experience, I choose to pop back into the movie theater, into the movie, and get to play all the parts, and it's fun. And it's no longer what I used to do is like, oh my God, that looks terrible, let me go experience it. That's what we do, by the way, unconsciously. But once you know you have this kind of power, you don't do that kind of stuff. You just don't. But you have to know, like whenever it comes to manifesting people and stuff like that, you have to understand every single one of those people that you're trying to manifest, whoever it is, whatever it is, it's all you. It doesn't exist outside of your head. Okay? Until you declare it into being, and then people play the roles that you have believed into being. Now, this is occurring with or without your consenting knowledge, because that's part of the game. As soon as you wake up and you realize how it works, it's a totally different life. And if you haven't woken up, then 3D can seem like a pretty overwhelming place. Like there's, what did you guys put in there? Chemtrails and global warming and, dead animals, like things actually die in the first place. No, nothing ever dies. But we put a lot of crap in there in our sleep. And it is up to us to realize that we can revise it. That no one has any power over us. That not even all this consensus crap that's out there can touch you. And if you don't understand that, then I would really like for you to consider reading the book called Dying to Be Me. Because there was a moment in that book in which she was already healed because she came back from the other side. She was already healed, and the doctors didn't believe she was healed, even though they did x-rays. They just couldn't explain it logically, and gave her chemo, and she panicked because she didn't need the chemo anymore. And then in that same instant, she said, oh, wait, I'm the operant power. This chemo is not going to do anything to me. And she didn't, because she knew her power. Okay? And a lot of times that's what happens. It's almost as if we need to go through the death portal to understand it. I've already done that. I've already walked through in the living self. I did it. Like, I walked through that portal. And it was the most incredible experience I've ever had. I'm jogging and the light of Jesus appears. It was like a ghost of a Jesus figure. And I'm looking at this thing like, wow. And it says, I'm the truth, the light, and the way. Follow me. And I ran towards that body. I didn't think twice. I just ran towards that body. And instantly I was transported to heaven. And I've been here ever since. But what did occur in that moment is my higher self described how 3D was made below, and how the light that we have up here is what's making the shadows down there. And it was so clear, the description, everything, the way the fun house, everything, the way it was described to me, is the reason that I even considered writing a book in the first place. Because I was like, wow, that was God-given vision. Like, whoa, you know? But these type of experiences cannot be explained. They must be experienced. And so when I speak, I am speaking from experience. And that's why nobody can tell me otherwise. Sorry, that's not my experience. You can exist in a world where that's not true, but this is true in my world, and this is where everyone exists. What's true of me is true of everyone. Because we are one being. And that's what you're here to figure out. You're here to break the puzzle of you. And many of us have already done it. And we're on the other side, and we're cheering you guys on. I, myself, included. Much love. I promise you, the words are true. What's in the Bible is true. I want to leave you guys with that. The myths are myths, but when you experience the word on this level, you will understand how real and how true these words are. And it changes everything. Love.